If you have a craving for something you like from your favorite restaurant, not right now, but when there's not a pandemic, and you go and they don't have that meal available, you might say, okay, no problem, I'll order something else. But if you call beforehand and they tell you, we don't have the dish right now, if you come back on Thursday at 12 p.m., we should have it. But get here early because we might sell out quickly. And we might not actually have it on Thursday at 12 p.m. after all. It might be 3 p.m. And if we don't have it, you can try our sister location in the next town. They should have it, but they might not. They probably won't. Would you like to make a reservation? You'd probably say, F it, and go somewhere else. Since NECA launched its 7-inch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figure lines just a few short years ago, the line has been subject to many sellouts, lots of hype, and many disappointed fans. These fans have had to rely on NECA's website, Target's website, and Walmart's website, as well as Target and Walmart themselves. If you've been collecting this line for any amount of time, then you certainly know what a challenge it has been like to collect this line. It really, really has. Every single item in this line is essentially like a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive release, given the sense of urgency, the time you need to spend planning, and then ultimately the disappointment when you can't get what you're trying to get. And the situation hasn't gotten any better. If anything, it seems like it's gotten worse. Collectors are ready to pounce when these items are advertised to be going on sale. The problem is they don't always go on sale at the advertised time, or the checkout button doesn't work, or they sell out in seconds due to bots. Of course, bots can buy anything, faster than a human can. That's why it's a bot. There's also competition from scalpers, hoping that out of sheer frustration, you'll just give up, you'll go to eBay, and then they'll be able to capitalize on that nostalgia you've had for the last 30 years for something you dressed up as for Halloween, collected toys of, and idolized basically since you were really little. Recently, NECA did acknowledge the frustration that many collectors were having with acquiring their product online due to the bots, due to all the issues. So what they did is they proceeded with a pre-order, an open window where you could jump on and pre-order these figures so that they were kind of done in a made-to-order fashion. Now, this was very successful. I was successful in doing this. All you had to do was make sure you ordered within the window and you're guaranteed a set. There's no fighting, there's no competition. It was awesome. Only for the following week, there to be another old-fashioned pre-order that went out of stock in about a minute. The new method of the pre-order window was truly welcomed by collectors and fans because, we all know how hard these figures are to get. We know the competition, we know about the bots and all that. So this was really a huge thing for NECA to do, and it was awesome. Now, NECA does say that Walmart and Target stock a good amount of their product. Contrary to what the actual situation is, if you actually go to the store or you talk to other fans and collectors, you might see a photo now and then of a Target that has a beautifully stocked NECA section, but that's not the norm. With toy hunting, you have to hunt for the toy. The problem is we are currently in a pandemic, and that might not be a huge problem if you live in an area of the country where there isn't rampant disease spreading. But in many areas, for many people, running from store to store to store daily just isn't possible, nor is it necessarily healthy, and no toy is worth your health. Now, perhaps you could just shrug off the experience and look at it as being part of the thrill of the hunt. After all, if you could just walk into a store at any time and find those figures on the shelf, or if you could just go online anytime and order whatever you wanted, would it be as interesting? Would the figures have nearly as much appeal as they do? Now, as an adult collector who does collect quite a few other things and has other options for Ninja Turtles from other companies, maybe not the same options, but definitely some options. Is the hunt worth the thrill? Sure, NECA is doing things that a lot of companies, heck, most companies are not doing. Terminator, Alien, Predator. You can only go to NECA to find these unique products that are catered to the adult collector who is looking to add them because they have that nostalgia, because they love the film, they love the TV show, and they want to add them to their collection. And NECA does offer some of the most detailed figures on the market at reasonable prices. That cannot be overstated. They just make so many things that, you have to have because, toys. But in terms of turtle stuff, who else are you going to go to get things based on the Toon series or the movies? Playmates? Now, longtime toy enthusiasts grew up with the phrase, collect them all. Collect them all. We feel the need to have a complete series of any action figure line in our possession, otherwise it's illegitimate compared to our buddy's collection, whose is complete, on Twitter. And because it's incomplete, our need for completeness in our collections is left by a gaping wound that can only be filled by that third-tier background character you never knew you needed in your collection. Now, I must acknowledge that I have had experiences with NECA in the past that have been awesome. Places like at San Diego Comic-Con, I can tell you that they have some of the friendliest people working for them. They have some of the most passionate, dedicated fans, just like you or I, working for them, working really hard to produce these items. They love toys and they love the movies and TV shows that we do. They want us to be able to buy these toys. I have no doubt about that. I also acknowledge that there may be licensing issues and production issues that NECA has to contend with that make it more difficult for us to add a lot of these products to our collections. And I tip my hat to them for what they can do, for their creativity, for their passion, and for doing what they can absolutely do. However, at a certain point, I must also acknowledge my own limitations when it comes to my favorite hobby. While I do obviously value toys and the need to collect them all, I value my own sanity even more. I value my health even more, both physical and mental. And as time has gone on, I've come to value my time a lot more too. And if time is money, then the time that you spent trying to spend money on a toy that you can't get simply isn't worth the time or the money. This particular toy line is eating at each and every one of these things that I hold important for my own personal well-being and my well-being as a collector. And for that reason, I just can't continue. There's no thrill of the hunt when you know that 99% of the time you're going to get to the toy aisle and there's going to be nothing there. And the toy aisle is going to look like it hasn't been organized in weeks. And for the online sales, you really have to plan. Sometimes you have to take time off from work, or you have to pull your phone out and really quickly see if you can get that order in. These things take time to do for that one item that's going to go out of stock in 1 minute. Now, are the hours of planning and organizing around that 1 minute window really worth that 1 minute? Now, of course, if you're successful, it might be worth the reward, right? But when it becomes a way in which you have to live, when it's continuous and you have to do this over and over and over again, at what point do you decide that, hey, I have other priorities and I just need to cut the rope? You wouldn't do this at your favorite restaurant, and hopefully you wouldn't put up with that in a relationship. So why do we do it with toys? Now, all I can speak for is myself. I'm one collector who's been at this a long time, who obviously loves, being involved with it all. I can't speak for you. I can't speak for anybody else. If you want to continue the roller coaster that is the NECA TMNT toy line, then, have at it. Have a ball. Enjoy, what's been going on. Though I don't know many people who actually enjoy all that's going on. But as for me, like I said, I have other priorities. I value my time. I value my health. I value my overall mental well-being at this point in my life than I do plastic. That's just the reality of it. Now, there are alternatives to NECA's Ninja Turtles. There's SH Figuarts. There's Super 7. Is it the exact same thing? Like I said, no, it's not. They're not doing the exact same things across the board. But can I be happy instead with what those companies are doing? Maybe. I'm so excited to receive my Super 7 Ninja Turtles whenever they finally ship, minus all of the nonsense and all the other stuff that, comes along with collecting the other line. And yeah, I'm a little sour over not being able to get my musical mutagen tour NECA turtle set. I mean, I tried. I had friends who were trying for me. I've been at this long enough to know what's required of somebody that wants to be a toy collector. I mean, for better or for worse, there's no lack of experience there. But this? And I loved the Coming Out of Their Shells concert when I was a little kid. I had the VHS. I loved it. And I may have gone as musician Raphael for Halloween one year. And I wasn't able to get Super Shredder because the checkout button wasn't working. Well, I missed out on Leatherhead and Slash. I missed out on Metalhead. And, I was there online to get these figures, and I just wasn't fast enough. And I couldn't add them to my cart and, all this stuff. And I missed out on Casey. And if I didn't have friends that were helping me with some of this stuff, there's no way I would be able to get, even half of what I've been able to get. That's the simple truth. Should I keep going? What else have I not been able to get? I'm not going to even tell you because that's going to affect my sanity. And the whole reason I'm making this video is because I want to preserve Victoria. I want to preserve my well-being. I want to preserve, I have plenty of other toys to collect. I have so many other things going on in life that I just feel at this point, what's going on with this particular toy line just isn't worth the hassle anymore. It really, really, really is not. Like I said, there are so many other toy lines to collect, and most of them come without all the bullshit. My excitement and passion for the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy lines has been replaced by all the evils of the toy collecting world, including verifying crosswalks. And let's face it, nobody's got time for that. Life's way too short.